The Denver Broncos went into SoFi Stadium and put in work, taking down the Los Angeles Chargers 24-7. Man, what a great game that was. There are some pretty crazy stats that I actually wanted to take a look at, and one of them being my favorite actually is that the Broncos held the Chargers 0 for 12 on third down. Like, man, that's pretty funny just because the Broncos were held to 0 for 11 on third down last week. So it's really nice to see that the Broncos could actually do that to the opposing team. Hold them 0 for 12 on third down. My favorite stat right there. And then, of course, the Broncos also held them to 1 for 6 on fourth down. Like, man, I don't know why the Chargers were going for it on fourth down so much. They're acting like it was Madden out there or something. I guess a couple of them, they had to go for it because the game was already over and it didn't matter anyway. But then there was some that they went for it on fourth down, didn't pick it up, and it was just like, why'd you go for it, man? You could have had points on the board. But no, they went for it and were just absolutely stopped. Poor Chargers fans. I wonder what they were all thinking during the game. Like, why are you going for it again and again when they should be punting? Because that Broncos defense was on fire. They also got 6 sacks. Man, that was insane. Like, that line was just allowing sack after sack. And, like, it was coming off from the edge. The Broncos are blitzing all their, like, safeties and corners. It was great. Like, Jaquan McMillan got a sack. Justin Simmons got a sack. PJ Locke got a sack. All those guys, freaking secondary players, getting sacks. It's cool to see. It's absolutely great to see. Like I said, that defense is just on fire, absolutely playing out of its mind. Alex Singleton is also a freaking crazy player. He's disrupting all kinds of plays, dude. Making that sack. He's so underrated. Alex Singleton, one of my favorite underrated guys for sure. And then Josie Jewell as well. Both them linebackers, dude, they're playing like crazy. I was really sad when Jonas Griffith got hurt, but man, Alex and Josie is really freaking stepping up and making sure that loss isn't a big deal. Also, I want to talk about Baron Browning. This dude's another freaking beast on this defense. He had that tip ball that resulted in Jonathan Cooper's interception, which was amazing because the Broncos started the game off with throwing a bad interception because Russell threw it just a little bit left and behind Marvin Mims, and the defensive player made a great play on the ball and just kind of was able to just, kind of scoop it out of his arms and just be in the perfect spot and make a great play on it, which also set them up at the goal line. But the Broncos were able to hold them there, so the Chargers didn't even get a touchdown on that drive. That's one of the drives where they went for it on fourth down and didn't get it. But then when the tables turn and this pick, like I'm talking about, when Baron Browning tipped it to Jonathan Cooper, they got set up on the goal line. The Broncos were actually able to get it in. They gave it to Javonte Williams, which my man Javonte Williams getting himself a first rushing touchdown in forever. My man. I was talking about it in one of my last Broncos videos about how I want to see Javonte Williams get at least 3 more rushing touchdowns this season. Or 3, like, 3 in general. But, like, man, he's got 1. He needs 2 more, and I'm going to be happy. Let's go, Javonte Williams. My man's feasting. That was probably the easiest touchdown of his life, though. They just ran it straight up the middle. Good to see it. Great to see it. Of course, I gotta talk about Courtland Sutton, the one and only. This freaking guy making another insane one-handed touchdown catch. I saw a meme saying that Russell Wilson's just gonna say F it, Courtland's down there somewhere, and huck it up there. And yeah, that's pretty damn right. Screw it, because Courtland Sutton's always gonna be down there, and he's always gonna catch the hard ball. It's just keep feeding him the ball. Courtland Sutton, favorite receiver in the NFL right now. This dude is just freaking amazing. I love this freaking guy. Literally every game you could count on Courtland Sutton having a crazy touchdown. That's just what he does. Awesome player. And so is Samaje Perine. Him being able to get 5 catches and run the ball twice, he's putting a lot of work in on that offense. Samaje Perine was also a huge get for this team. Both them guys just put in absolutely work this game. Jerry Jeudy only had 2 catches this game, but one of them were pretty nice. He should have had a couple more. And he should have had a nice touchdown, but Jerry Jeudy wasn't able to drag his toes. He had his right foot in, but his left foot went straight out of bounds, or vice versa. I can't really remember. But man, if Jerry Jeudy would have had his feet in bounds, he would have had a nice touchdown right there. And then there was another play where he just straight beat his guy, and he was going off to the right side of the end zone, kind of like the front corner, and Russ just chucked it. And he put it in his spots where he could have kind of got it. It was kind of out of bounds a little bit, kind of a tough ball. But man, Jerry Jeudy should have been a have that. He should have been able to swoop that. I feel like Courtland Sutton would have grabbed both them balls. But man, we needed to see Jerry Jeudy step up more in those situations and just really start being a game changer, man. He's like not being the number 2 guy that we need. I still like him as a player, but I just don't think Russ trusts him all that much. Especially after this game, I don't think he's gonna trust him that much anymore. And I guess we see why he doesn't already as much as he does Cortland. Because, man, he's just going to chuck it to Cortland every play. That's what I do at this point, jeez. Or Marvin. Or I don't know, anybody. They really spread out the ball pretty decently. So, I mean, everyone gets their chance. I always be talking about how they should be giving a ball to a couple more people each time. But I guess they do kind of spread the ball evenly. Just whatever works, they seem to lean into a little bit. So that's good. They used to kind of find out what worked and they just go away from it. So it's good to see the Broncos actually lean into what works. One thing I do got to say about this defense is that they should have had a touchdown. They forced a strip sack that was 100% a fumble, and they took it to the house, but it was called an incomplete pass. There was no way that was an incomplete pass. That was 100% a fumble, and I don't care if I'm just a salty Broncos fan. That should have been a touchdown for the defense right there. This defense is playing out of its mind. They earned that touchdown. No way that was a pass. End of discussion. Another thing, actually, it did suck to see Justin Herbert get hurt this game. I think he broke a finger or something like that. That really sucked. They had to throw in Easton Stick, who that was like, in this game, he threw his second ever NFL pass, because he's only thrown one pass prior to this game. So, although Easton Stick is kind of like a familiar name to some people, like I know him, but he does not have much NFL experience at all. And for him to go out there and play like he did, it wasn't bad. I mean, he couldn't hold on to the ball when getting sacked. He kind of looked like Daniel Jones. But, I mean, he was not bad. Like, Easton came in there and made Quentin Johnston look good. Like, Quentin Johnston was not having a great season. And then Easton came in there and threw, like, 2 plays back-to-back. Boom, boom, both to Quentin. And bam, 91 yards, racked him up. So, I'm sure Quentin Johnston wants Easton Stick to be his quarterback every week with that performance. No, I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm just surprised Quentin caught the damn ball, actually. I don't think he's a bust yet, though, but if you've seen all those graphics that all the receivers taken after Quentin Johnston, it does not look good. All the receivers after Quentin are doing a lot better right now. But Quentin still has some time, and I think he could develop into something nice. I still like him as a player. I drafted him in fantasy, so I thought he was going to be something. I haven't lost faith yet. I'm still rooting for Quentin. Let's go. And then Austin Eckler. I'm always rooting for Austin Eckler. But for some reason, the Chargers didn't really use him that much this game. He had 10 carries. I feel like he should have had a little bit more carries. I think somebody, like, they were saying that they were going to give Isaiah and Joshua more carries. But, like, that, I guess that's good to get the ball into more different hands. But, man, Austin Eckler should have way more than 10 carries. I think if he would have had more than 10 carries, like 15, 20, they probably would have won. He did catch the ball 5 times, but when they actually decided to use him, that's when the offense was starting to move for the Chargers. But they pretty much just neglected him. It was just really weird. Like, having Austin touch the ball only 15 times and run the ball 10, that's just outrageous. I would at least, like, 20, 25. Like, come on. Best player on the field. Almost. One of the best players on your offense, for sure. I know Keenan Allen is also great as well. He also put in a bit of work this game. The Broncos usually hold Keenan Allen to a pretty slow, game and not like a huge performance or anything. Like, Mike Williams is usually the guy who kills the Broncos, and so it's kind of funny to see that Quentin Johnston is the guy, because they seem to hold Keenan. I think Patrick was probably on him for most of the game, and then when he did get his catches, it's probably when they were in a zone or something like that. Keenan Allen is 31 years old though, and I don't know how long he's going to be in the Chargers uniform for, but they got to get somebody behind him for sure. Quentin Johnston for sure has to develop, turn into something. Hopefully Mike Williams gets healthy, but they're going to have to they're going to definitely have to draft a receiver in this draft or something, because, man, they can't go out with this receiving core again next year and expect Justin Herbert to succeed. Like, it's a little weak. It's just a little weak. Especially now with Mike Williams out of the picture. This offense, it doesn't scare me at all. I was not even worried about this game. Maybe the second game after the Chargers, learn what the Broncos are doing and all that, but this first game, I was not worried at all. Even with this crazy defense that the Chargers have. I think this is this is definitely a crazy part of the team, but for some reason, the whole team in general just likes to underperform. Like, I love Asante Samuel Jr., beast. Kenneth Murray, pretty good. Derwin James, beast. Both those guys, beasts. They got huge playmakers. Khalil Mack, they probably doubled Khalil Mack. But all three of them guys, huge freaking playmakers on that defense. And we're all playing pretty well, but the Broncos just had answers for them, man. It is good to see Derwin James healthy and playing. It seemed like for a while there he just could not stay healthy, so I'm glad to see him back out on the field. One of my favorite players as well, even if he is on the Chargers. I do like this Chargers team, but I think they need to make a lot of changes this offseason. They have a lot of work to do. The Chargers just got to stop charging. Like, man, it's crazy how they have their own saying. Like, the Chargers going to charger. But I actually kind of like the Chargers, so good game. And it was actually a fun game to watch. I liked watching it, so GG Chargers for real. And at least we could both be happy knowing that the Chiefs lost to the Bills. That was 100% an offsides call. The refs are right in that situation. But anyway, let's go. Broncos beat the Chargers, and they're going to do it again next time they play. They're going to sweep the Chargers this season, putting my money on it now. Stay tuned for that breakdown. Stay tuned for all the other breakdowns. I'm going to be going over as much football games as possible. So yeah, stay tuned for all that. And thank y'all for watching. It's been yo boy Baking Up Football. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I would really freaking appreciate it. You don't have to if you don't want to. But football content coming to you daily or whenever I can. Appreciate y'all. Have a good one. Peace.